And welcome to the very first game of week number 7 here in the Hometown Football League. I'm Big Paulie coming to you. Today we start off with Atlanta traveling to Washington. Washington an 8-point favorite despite losing their first game to Miami last week. Atlanta coming in at 2-4. And we have rainy conditions and 60 degrees at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland or thereabouts. I will be controlling Washington as they are the home team. The computer controls Atlanta. Washington won the toss. Atlanta won the toss. I'm sorry. I keep watching these and elected to defer, so Washington will get the ball to start the first half. Matt Ryan, Sonny Jurgensen, your quarterbacks. Dan Reeves and Joe Gibbs are your coaches. Washington in the burgundy and Atlanta in the white. James, Sines, and Williams back deep for the Redskins, and we still call them the Redskins because when we started this HTFL, they were still the Redskins. We'll revisit that later when they get a new nickname. And it was James from the 9 takes it out to the 35, a gain of 26. For Washington, we start the offensive starters. Davis and Akins will be the running backs. Monk and Clark, your wideouts. Cooley at tight end. Jurgensen at quarterback. Jacoby, Grimm, House, Farman, and Samuels, your offensive line. The front four for Atlanta, Humphrey, Kearney, Hall, Jarrett. Brooking, Tuggle, and Kuykendall are your linebackers. Deion Sanders, Grimes, Brown, and Case, your defensive backfield. And we will give it to Stephen Davis right away. A dive play on first and 10. And that's a gain of 3. And it was Case coming up from his free safety spot to make the tackle. And that moves the ball to the 38. Second and 7. We'll go Akins on a dive. Akins back from injury. Bob Seymour was the fullback for Washington in the last few games. And Akins goes up the middle for a 3-yard gain, and Tuggle makes the stop. That sets up third and 4. We'll go Art Monk on a short slant. And Monk's got it. A gain of 11. And a first down for the Skins. Back to Davis. Pitch to the right. And that was a mistake. He loses 7 on the play. I have to put my glasses on because it's kind of dark right here from where I'm doing the game here in Pinellas Park, Florida. So just give me a moment here, folks. And it makes the white background kind of hard to see for me. Loss of 7. Kearney gets the tackle. Nice play for the Atlanta defense. We'll go to Charles Taylor on a medium hitch. And Jurgensen got it away to Cooley. It was Grimes who spun him down, a gain of 7. Third and 10. We'll go Monk on the medium out. Caught, but short of the first, was the catch by Clark. And Trufant made the stop, and it'll bring up fourth down. 4th and 4. So they'll bring Eddie LeBaron on, and he'll try to soft shoe it by the Atlanta goal line. And that's a punt goes out of bounds at the 5, away from Tim Dwight, the return man for Atlanta on punts. Punt goes 37, no return. Setting up the lineup for the Atlanta offense. Andrews and Pegram, your running backs. Jones and White, your wideouts. Mitchell at tight end. Ryan at quarterback. Ken, Freilich, Van Note, Fieldman, and Coons, your offensive line. For Washington, not a bad crew of defenders. Mann and Manley, Butts and Trabert, your front four. Hamburger, Patton, and Arrington, your linebackers. That's Hamburger with an N and not an M. So don't let me make you all hungry. Williams, Green, Houston, Taylor, your defensive backs. We'll see what Atlanta does here on 1st and 10. And just avoiding a safety is Ryan. Hamburger with the sack. And that backs Atlanta up all the way to their 1. 2nd and 14. We have had safeties in back-to-back games Atlanta, Arizona, and Los Angeles, and New York and Philadelphia on the quote-unquote Monday night game. We'll have New York later today, by the way. Again, they play Miami. 2nd and 14 from the 1. And a gain of 11 as Ryan threw it to Roddy White. And it was Bass who made the tackle, Kevin Bass, who scored the sole touchdown for Washington in Super Bowl VII. 3rd and 3, ball to 12. That Garo Yepremian menagerie of a play. That was completed to Jones, Julio Jones, for a gain of 9, and Darrell Green pushed him out. 1st and 10. The ball moves up to the 21 now. It's Ryan over the middle looking for White, and incomplete. Andre Rison comes in as the 3rd wide receiver. He will be number 89. You see him up there on the top of your screen. 2nd and 10, ball to 21. This is Andrews, who gains 4, and that makes it 3rd and 6 at the 25-yard line of Atlanta. Can they convert? They can. To White, Roddy White, who picks up a gain of 9. So that's already 2 catches for White for 20 yards. 1st and 10, ball to 34. Quick throw to Jones, but that was swatted away by Green, incomplete. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 34, still. Will Ryan scramble? Yes, he will, but he fumbles, recovered by Washington. Talbert. But it's being reviewed. Stand by.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
So no fumble, no turnover. Atlanta keeps possession. 3rd and 9. Ball for the 35. And they get the first down out of it. That was Bryan to Mitchell, tackled by Taylor, a gain of 10. 1st and 10. Ball now at the 45. Your throw. Incomplete. Manley hurt.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 28. Automatic. First down.
But what's really going to hurt was Green getting called for pass interference. A 24-yard pickup, because that's a spot of the foul penalty. And a first down for Atlanta at the 31. Brito is going to come in to spell Manley. We've seen him before play for Washington. He's out of Loyola Marymount, who used to be a football school before they were famous for their basketball back in the late 80s and early 90s with that fast attack offense they had back in the days of the late Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball. 1st and 10, ball to 31. This is to Andrews, and Andrews back to the line, and that's all. Gain of a yard, actually. Williams on the stop. 2nd and 9 at the 30. And this is Ryan. It's intercepted. And that was Williams, and he gained 21 yards on the interception return. Johnny Williams, his 2nd pick of the year. So finally, Washington gets that turnover. They were denied on the fumble that was reviewed in the booth and overturned. So they finally get justice there, if you call that justice. 1st and 10, ball at the 42. We'll pitch it right to Stephen Davis. Davis back to the line, and that is it. Kearney makes the stop. Davis, 3 carries and minus 4 yards, because you remember he got the minus 7-yard rush earlier in the game. Medium fly to Monk on 2nd and 10. Jurgensen sacked out of nowhere by Humphrey. That's a coverage sack. Jurgensen will probably tell you, I don't care what kind of sack it is, it still hurt. 3rd and 14. We'll look for Gary Clark on the medium fly route. And that is to Monk, who gains 8. And Deion Sanders tackled him, so that was short of the first down by 6. Needed 14, got 8. And Eddie LeBaron comes back on to punt. The punt caught by Dwight, but it was a fair catch. Cannot advance it. And it was caught at the 10. The punt went 44 yards. 60 degrees, raining in Atlanta into the wind, at least for another 3 minutes and 9 seconds. The wind is very light, less than 5 miles an hour. 1st and 10 at the 10. Ryan going to throw from deep in his own territory to Jones. He picks up 11, and that's good for the first down. Now a first and 10 at the 21. Looking for Andrews over the middle, but he could not hang on. Looked like Ken Houston. I'm sorry, not Darryl Green. I wanted to show you Houston. There he is out of Prairie View A&M. Provided most of the coverage, but it looked like they were throwing it into double coverage, hence why I wanted to show you that. Second and 10 at the 21. Andrews will run it this time. He gains 3, and Patton on the tackle for the Skins. Now a third and 7. Incomplete. Looking for Taylor. Actually was deflected by Taylor. The short slant was intended for Jim Mitchell. 4th and 7. And I have not mentioned Atlanta's punter yet. I will this time. The return by Signs goes 5. Bosher's punt went 45. So the net was 40 yards. On a rainy day in Washington, D.C., we have no score. A minute 27 left to go in quarter number 1. Trap right, Stephen Davis. And Davis, to the right side, picks up 7. And it was Kuykendall making the tackle. They'll go back to Davis. Trap right again. Just short of the first down. To the dismay of this crowd at FedEx Field, and we will end the first quarter. No score. So some programming reminders for you. Grand Slam Wrestling, we have the latest match of the week coming out 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning being August the 22nd, as I record this on August the 21st. Farmer Burns against Kevin Sullivan. We have an OOTP episode coming. And we have a franchise hockey manager, maybe one game, maybe as many as 4 games in the series between the Whalers and the Islanders for the 1980 Stanley Cup playoffs. That will be Sunday. The other 2 events will be Saturday. Availability on Monday for the HTFL games will depend on what Tropical Storm Laura does. They thought earlier, about a day ago, as I was recording the Philly Giants game, that it was going to impact the Tampa Bay area, but now that doesn't appear to be the case, so hopefully that trend continues. And it stays well to the left of us. So back to the game, we have 55 yards total offense for Atlanta. They've run 14 plays, 10 of them have been passes. 37 yards for Washington. They have run 10 plays, 6 have been rushes. And it's 3rd and inches. We'll go Jurgensen on a dive play. And Sonny could run, and he got the first down by barely. Atlanta's going to challenge the spot.
Ruling on the field stands. A timeout will be charged.
And the play was upheld. So Atlanta loses a timeout and their challenge for the rest of the game. We'll go Akins on a pitch right on 1st and 10 from the 46. And Akins looked like he was going to lose yardage, but got back to the line. No gain. 2nd and 10. We'll go off tackle. Actually, we'll make it a trap. Stephen Davis, trap to the right. He gained a couple, and that's all. Brooking on the stop. 3rd and 8. So Cooley will come in. We'll go to Cooley on a medium hitch, actually. Cooley has been here. Incomplete. And Grimes got some good coverage on him defensively. So back we go to Eddie LeBaron. The ball to Washington 48. He'll punt deep and hope it's not a touchback. They could pin Atlanta in deep. Dwight loses 3 on the return. Caught at the 11, and he backpedaled to the 8. And let's see here. Green made the tackle for Washington. 13:22 left in the half. No score. Kind of like going how the Philly Giants game went last night. 9-6, the Giants won that. A defensive struggle. And the lowest scoring game I do believe we have had yet in HTFL play. 1st and 10 at the 8. Ryan throws the ball. That could change quickly. To Pegram, who gained 7, and Hamburger made the tackle. 2nd and 3 at the 15. Incomplete. Hamburger injured. Looking for... It doesn't say who Ryan was looking for. And Hamburger will be out a few plays. They bring in Kerrigan to replace him. Ryan Kerrigan. Now a 3rd and 3. Ball at the 15. Marker before the play.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty.
They get Ken for a false start. Backs up Atlanta 5. Now a 3rd and 8 from the 10. Caught by Jones past the 30 to the 32-yard line. A gain of 22 yards. And that was Green on the tackle. So Atlanta with a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10. To Andrews. Gain of 5. Andrews, 4 carries, 13 yards. He has not caught a pass yet, and he's better known for being a nice little pass catcher out of the backfield, or was when he played for Atlanta back in the 80s. You see him there. He's out of Auburn. He had 10 catches last week against Tennessee. 10 catches, 108 yards. 2nd down and 5 at the 37. That's a throw and a catch to White, who gains 5, and that just enough for the first. 1st and 10 at the 42. To Andrews. Gets 4 yards. Green on the stop for the Redskins. 2nd and 6. To White, who gains 9. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 45. A gain of 4 for Andrews. Taylor made the tackle that time. 2nd and 6 at the 41 of Washington. And that's a throw and a catch to Jones. Darrell Green made the tackle, and Atlanta moving. 1st and 10 at the 28 of the Skins. Quick throw and catch, but we'll check the marker.
Offense. Number 78, 10-yard penalty.
That's Mike Ken who gets called for holding. Back Atlanta up 10. Set 1st and 20 at the 38. A gain of 8, and that was to Jim Mitchell. And it was Houston coming up and made the tackle there. 2nd and 12, ball at the 30. And here's Ryan. Intercepted. Another pick. And it's Johnny Williams again. His 3rd pick of the year and his 2nd of the game. So we'll look at Matt Ryan's stats. 11 for 18, 142 yards, but those 2 picks looming large at the moment. 1st and 10, Washington. No score, but we're going to go along to Clark and try to make the Falcons pay. I had to think who I was playing here for a minute. Medium slant to somebody. And it's caught by Clark inside Atlanta territory. The play action works. Pickup of 19. Samuels was hurt, but stays in. To Davis. Off tackle right. And he loses yardage there to Jarrett with a 2-yard loss. Tackle for a 2-yard loss, and it's 2nd and 12 at the 48. And the Bluebirds are out in Landover, Maryland. Medium fly to Charlie Taylor. That's caught. And Jurgensen threw to Monk there on a check down. He gained 8, and Deion Sanders made the tackle. 3rd and 4. We're going to screen it to Davis. Incomplete. So we continue to have a lack of offense here. Both teams misfiring at key points. And with the ball at the 40.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Well, as I was saying, the ball on the 45. LeBaron will try a sideline punt. That gives him a better action.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
And Atlanta gives the 5-yard penalty back and says, hey, I don't want it. You could have it. They are out of field goal range, so LeBaron will again try to punt it to the sidelines. This time he will get it off. And this time the punt goes to the 8. Punt goes 32. 4:24 left in the half. We have no score. First and 10, ball at the 8. To Andrews, he gains 4. See that 31 there, I think it's Jim Taylor of Green Bay. Butts on the tackle after the gain of 4. So now a second and 6. Ryan fumbles, recovered by Arrington, and he has a very short path to the end zone. And Washington on the board. Touchdown, LeVar Arrington. Here's your extra point try. Good by Schweisom. And just like that, we have our first score, much like we did in that Eagles-Giants game where Sam Huff got the first score. LeVar Arrington gets the first score for the Skins. It's 7-0. Dwight back deep and a touchback. I don't think I shared the lineups in terms of return men for Atlanta. It's Dwight, Butler, and Hampton. Thank you very much. First and 10, the ball to 20. This is Pegram, and he gains 5 yards. Setting up a second and 5 at the 25. So Washington broke the ice. Here's Andrews, and he's got some running room. 40, 50, down near the 40, at the 40, a gain of 35. His longest run of the year, I'm being told. Washington not going to call timeout. They'll let Atlanta get set up and make them use their timeouts if they want to. First and 10 at the Washington 40. Incomplete, looking for Mitchell in the flat. And it's now second and 10 at the 40. Again, looking for Jones. This time Jones has it, a gain of 12. Darrell Green pushes him out of bounds. 2:08. Actually, he didn't push him out because the clock is still running and it will go to the 2-minute warning. 7-0 Redskins. 181 yards, a total offense for Atlanta. They have run 30 plays, 20 have been passes. Only 64 for Washington. They have 18 plays, 10 have been rushes, but they have the 7-0 lead. First and 10 at the 28 of the Skins. This is Andrews, who gains 2. No, I don't want to call my timeouts. Why help Atlanta out here? Atlanta in no hurry to stop the clock. Second and 8 from the 26. Minute 53 to go. That's Pegram in the flat. He gains 5. And he stepped out at the 21. And that did stop the clock with a minute 35 left. Atlanta with 2 timeouts. Washington with 3. Third and 3. It's going to be a screen to one of the wideouts, being Andre Rison.
Number 71, 5-yard penalty.
But man gets called for encroachment, and that gives Atlanta a first down at the 18. 16, I'm sorry. Minute 26 left. Incomplete. Knocked down by Brito. And now you got a second and 10. Ryan looking for Jones that time. Tipped in the air by Green. Now a third and 10 at the 16. I'm sure Atlanta will want to get something here. And that was completed to White at the 10. A gain of 6. They needed 10 yards. And we'll have a field goal try here from 27 yards. Pushed right, no good. Matt Bryant pushed it to the right. So Atlanta stymied from getting on the board, even though they have now driven 3 times in the Washington territory. And with a minute 8 left, we'll see what the Skins can do. Medium fly to Charlie Taylor. Right. Go to the middle of the field a few times with the timeouts they have. And that gain of 18 to Charlie Taylor, a tackle by Brown. And the Redskins bang a timeout. We'll go long slant to Clark. Incomplete. Now second and 10 to Cooley on a medium, a short out. Well, that's not the play I wanted to call, but Cooley completed it, gained 9. And Washington will bang out timeout number 2. They have 1 left. And 3rd and 1 would be a good time to call something here on play action. To Taylor, medium pass. We'll make it a medium slant because, whoops, again I hit the wrong button. That works out. Taylor, a gain of 16, tackled by Brown. No huddle, hurry up. We have 37 seconds left. Save that timeout for last. Medium out to Clark. That's caught, and that's down to the 22-yard line. And no huddle. Well, they'll have to run the clock down because the Redskins are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because if they go to hurry up, they'd have 8 seconds left, and that might not be enough time to get a play in. So they'll bring Schwiesom on to try a field goal from 39 yards with 5 seconds left in the half, and he pushed it right too. No good. Atlanta will get one last shot at it with 2 seconds left, and I'm going to go deep zone prevent here. And Ryan's going to take a knee, and that's going to be the half. 7-0 Washington. So we start quarter number 3. Atlanta 193 yards, 36 plays, 24 passes. Washington at $122, 23 plays, 13 of them have been passes. Dwight back deep. As Atlanta, as you may recall, deferred until the second half with their kickoff option. And now Atlanta has it at their own 20, 1st and 10 from there. This is Andrews, who gains 8. Houston makes the stop for the Skins. 2nd and 2, which gives Atlanta a lot of options offensively. Over the middle to Jones, that's incomplete. Now a 3rd and 2. Still at 28. It's going to be a screen, a wide receiver screen they were setting up. Well, actually a tight end screen because they were going to go to Mitchell with it, broken up by Hamburger. And they'll bring in the punt team. And the punt
Holding, receiving team.
by Bosher went 47. The return for Signs went 5, but Hamburger called for holding, and that backs Washington way back to the 14. 13:49 left in the 3rd. They'll go Davis on a dive. And Davis passed the 20 to the 23. He picked up 9. Bomb, play action bomb to Clark. And this looks good. Because it is good. 58 yards. Clark's longest catch of the year before Grimes got to him. And Jurgensen now 11 for 14, 175 yards. That flips the field. Trap right Davis on 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 19. And Davis into the clear, gains 15. Varnon injured on the play. It looked like he injured his foot, but shakes it off. Off tackle right, Akins. He's got it. Touchdown. Schwiesom to try the point after, which he gets. And the stadium has broken into the song, Hail to the Redskins, Hail victory. Braves on the warpath, fight for old DC. Well, I won't bore you with the rest of the song, but 14-0 Redskins, 11-14 left to go. In quarter number 3, it's Dwight again, back deep for Atlanta, and again, it's a touchback. 1st and 10, ball to 20. And that is Pegram, who gains 3. 2nd and 7, ball now at the 23, and Atlanta needing to get something going offensively, and that was Pegram, who only gains a yard. Hamburger on the stop. 3rd and 6 at the 24. Another incompletion as Ryan was looking for White, tipped by Bass, incomplete. 4th and 6, so Atlanta has to punt. Here's Bosher to Symes. Marker.
Holding. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
Hamburger again with holding. And it's 1st and 10. Washington at their own 20. They lead, though, 14-0. Off tackle right. Stephen Davis. And Davis near the first down marker, but he does get the first, so he gained 10 yards. Davis now 10 carries for 40 yards. Clark, 4 catches, 98. And we'll go to him on the short cross here on 1st and 10. Caught, completed, but
encroachment defense. Number 98,
actually
5-yard penalty.
They will decline it and take the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. Davis will go off tackle right. They're showing blitz, so we'll go Monk on a slant instead. Incomplete.
Encroachment defense. Number 97, 5-yard penalty.
The encroachment gives them the first down, though. 1st and 10 at the 43. We'll go Monk, medium out. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 43. We'll look for Akins. Off tackle right. Gain of a yard. 3rd and 9. We'll put Sanders in to work on a medium cross. Caught by Sanders.
Holding. Offense.
But it's going to come back.
Number 60, 10-yard penalty.
Samuels called for holding, and now it's 3rd and a cab ride from Chevy Chase, Maryland. Long pass to Clark. And Jurgensen back. He's looking. Picked off by Deion Sanders, who struts around on his interception. Return to 33, looking to someone in the lateral at 2, but couldn't find anybody. So Atlanta in business, and that's the first turnover for Washington this game. Atlanta has already turned it over 3 times. 1st and 10 at the 30. Pegram, 3 yards.
Personal foul. Offense. Number 84, 15-yard penalty.
Oh, Roddy White got into it with one of the Redskins players. Not good. 15-yard penalty. 1st and 25 at the 45. To Andrews, who gains 4. Hamburger on the tackle. 2nd and 21. Ball at the 41. To Roddy White. I'm sorry, that's Julio Jones, who gains 12. Green makes the stop. Now a 3rd and 9. To Jones again, who gains 11. And now Jones, with 7 catches, has his season high for the year. Ball at the 18 for a 1st and 10. And that went to White, and he's got a touchdown. Roddy White. And here's your point after try by Bryant, who missed a field goal from chip shot range. It's good. And it's 14-7 with 4:46 left in quarter number 3. James back. And he will down it in the end zone for a touch. And the ball will come out to the 20. Trap right, Stephen Davis, 1st and 10. And Davis with running room. Kuykendall has to make the tackle. And Davis, 11 carries, 48 yards. We'll go Akins. Off tackle right. He gains 3. And it's a 1st down. Double tight end set. And they will sweep Davis this time left side. Fumble recovered by Atlanta.
The previous play is under review.
But a booth review, hang on.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
So Atlanta keeps possession. There was no gain on the play, so it's 2nd and 10. Washington getting the ball back on an overturned fumble. It looked like Atlanta had it, but now Washington has it again on the overturn. Trap left Stephen Davis. Best thing you could do for Davis is just give him the ball back and make that fumble be a distant memory. And he gained 5. Tuggle made the stop for Atlanta. And on 3rd and 5, they'll go to a 3-wide set and look for Ricky Sanders on the short cross. Jurgensen's going to scramble, gets the first and a lot more. 50, 40, a fumble. And Sanders, who is the intended receiver on the play, scoops up the fumble, but Jurgensen gains 29 yards. And now, Washington has it at the Atlanta 35 for a 1st and 10. Davis, off tackle right, and he gains 3 more. 14 carries, 56 yards for Mr. Davis. Monk, medium slant on 2nd and 7. Dion just gets the fingertip on it, and it'll be 3rd and 7. How about Monk again? Short cross. Incomplete. So they'll bring Schweissen on. About a 50-50 shot. He can get this field goal from 49, and he can't as he pushes it right, and it's no good. So Atlanta now, who once trailed by 14, is a touchdown away from tying this game. We have 45 seconds left in quarter number 3. Over the middle and incomplete, William Andrews with his 2nd drop of the day. 2nd and 10, ball at the 39.
Holding.
A marker.
Offense. Number 75, 10-yard penalty.
Coons wipes out the 5-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 20. To Jones, picks up 6. And Darrell Green has his 10th tackle of the day. 3rd and 14. That's it for the 3rd quarter. Washington 14, Atlanta 7. 256 yards of total offense for Atlanta. They have run 32 plays passing, 16 rushing, so 2/3 of their plays have been passes. Washington's been a bit more balanced on their 275 yards. They have 21 rushes, 19 passes on their 40 plays. 3rd and 14, ball to 35. See if Matty Ice can get something going here. Throws it underneath to Jones, which puts him over 100 yards receiving today, but that is not enough to get the first down. So Atlanta will have to punt. And the punt goes off, and I am going to fair catch it. And it'll cut inside the 15 at the 13 by signs. Washington with the wind for the 4th quarter. But it's not much of a wind, a 5-mile-an-hour wind at best. Trap right Davis, 1st and 10. And that moves it out to the 16, a gain of 3. Stretch play for Akins on the 2nd down. And that will be 4 yards. 3rd and 3. Cooley, short cross. And they get him. Gain of 10. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 30. Monk, medium slant against a short, tight defense, so this could be a good call. Instead, it's a dump off to Davis, who gains 9, his first catch of the game, to go along with his 15 rushes for 59 yards. 2nd and a yard. Will go long again with the bomb, and will go to Art Monk. They throw it underneath to Clark. And Clark with 113 yards receiving. That's a new season high for him. It's now 1st and 10 at the 46. Trap right, Davis. Gain of 3. So Clark having a good day with Sanders on Monk most of the game. See it down here. And that leaves their second cornerback, Brent Grimes, on Gary Clark. They've been taking advantage of that. Medium cross to Clark. In fact, on 2nd and 7, throw to Davis, hits the ground. So now a 3rd and 7. 3 wide, man in motion, medium pass. And they'll look for Ricky Sanders here. Incomplete. Sanders lost the handle. 4th and 7, ball to Washington 49. LeBaron will punt to the sideline and not risk a touchback. And the ball goes out of bounds at the 13. And Atlanta will take over 1st and 10 from there. We have 9:53 left in the 4th quarter. Atlanta down 7. And that is Pegram who gains 3. 2nd and 7 at the 16. Ryan to White. Green, with an undisclosed injury, remains in the game, but seems to be favoring something. 1st and 10 at the 30. To Pegram, who gains 3. Man on the stop for the Skins. 2nd and 7. Oh, just over the reach of Roddy White. Tipped by Arrington, who came over to assist the corner on the play, which was Mike Bass. I think I called him Kevin Bass earlier. Kevin Bass played for the Houston Astros in baseball, so my apologies to Mike Bass. 3rd and 7 at the 33. Incomplete. Screen to Mitchell, but Taylor interrupted that play. And now Atlanta has to punt, but they're still in the game right now. They trail only by 7. And here's the kick by Bosher, but the punt. It's going to be blocked. Butts blocked it. Man pounced on it. And the Skins have a 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 20 with 7:30 to go. So turn of events here. And they will run it to the right side with Akins. Gain of 4. And Washington will slow it down. And this is going to be a counter sweep, way Joe Gibbs used to do it with Davis. And Davis to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, inside the 5, to the 2. Kuykendall on the stop. 6:26 left to go. A touchdown here, any score here for Washington would be huge. Or as Al Michaels would say all the time, huge. Of course, our current president does that too. Dive to Davis. And it's a touchdown for Stephen Davis. And the crowd at FedEx Field roars in approval. Schweisom puts it through barely and makes it 21-7 with 5:42 left to go. Right back deep for Atlanta. That's another touchback. Mathis enters the game as a 4th wide receiver, as Atlanta will probably dedicate this last chunk of the game to its passing game, and they have already put it up 36 times. 2/3 of their plays have been passes. 1st and 10. Loss of a yard. Ryan has not had a terrible day, but not a good day either. 2 picks and 1 touchdown. 203 yards. On that play, as the field begins to slick up, it's a trap right to Andrews, who loses a yard. 2nd and 11. That is to Mathis,
offense,
but a holding call is going to bring the penalty play back. Coons makes it 2nd and 21 at the 9. Incomplete. Hamburger limping off. 3rd and 21, same spot, 9-yard line. White, a pickup of 8, but they needed way more than that, and that's his 8th catch of the day. Needed 21 and got 8. So watch for the punt here. I don't think they'll fake it that deep. And that is Bosher.
Illegal block. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
They get Bass for an illegal block, and that moves it Washington back to the 27. We have 4:20 left. It's 21-7. Trap right, Stephen Davis. Davis, 2-yard gain, and that is all. And again, Washington will milk the clock and bring two tight end, a double tight end formation in. It's going to be a counter to Akins on 2nd and 8. And he got a couple more. Yes, 2-yard gain. Brown on the stop for Atlanta. 3:28 left to go. I think Washington's going to run it again. Trap right. This time a gain of 4. And Atlanta did not call a timeout, so Washington will milk the clock down to 2:06 and call a timeout right then and there. LeBaron comes on, and he can just boom it away. And something happened. Dwight bobbled it, and House pounced on it. So Washington gets the ball with 2:01 to go, and the ball is at the Atlanta 19. So again, another turnover. That's 4 now for Washington. 4 turnovers on defense, and you could call the blocked punt technically a turnover too. So they have had a very good day keeping Atlanta off the board. And they will run a counter and go sweep left to Davis. Davis picks up 3. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. 21-7 Washington. They will go trap right, Davis. No gain. Atlanta will call their first timeout. They have 2 left. Washington also with 2 this half, should they need to use them. Again, Washington is going to run on 3rd down. Trap right Davis. He's short of the first, and he most likely would have been, but it forces Atlanta to burn a timeout. They have 1 left. Schweesum to try a field goal from 29. And that is good, and that should pretty much salt the game away. 24-7. Redskins with now 1:33 to go. Here's Dwight back deep. And it'll be 1st and 10. Ball to 20. Atlanta with 4 wide. Go to the sidelines and look
Offsides,
for White.
Defense.
And that play will stand
5-yard penalty.
as Arrington, who scored the first touchdown for Washington today, is called for an offsides. It won't matter because the first down would have stuck. 1st and 10. Ball to 39. As Atlanta tries to get some points to cut the margin down a little bit. Williams with a huge shot to knock the ball loose as Ryan was throwing to Mathis. 1st and 10 at the 39. Long throw. Looking for White, but he could not find him. Taylor provided tight coverage. 3rd and 10, ball to 39. Down the sidelines is Julio Jones. 20, 10. And he goes all the way down to the 4. So Jones, with that 57-yard gain, goes to 158 on the day. On his 10 catches. 1st and goal at the 4. Ryan, incomplete, looking for Andrews. Now a 2nd and goal, same spot. So can Atlanta get something on the board here? That's incomplete. That was to Jones, and Green deflected it. 3rd and goal at the 4. Incomplete. Last chance for Atlanta, 4th and goal. And that's incomplete. What do you think? Because the play description did not finish. Short sideline pass to the end zone. It's incomplete. Washington will just take a knee here. I don't think Atlanta would call a timeout here, do you? Jurgensen will take another knee. And that'll do it. 24-7. Washington beats Atlanta to go to 6-1 on the year. Atlanta falls to 2-5, but when we look at the standings, they're still very much in the Southern Conference race, the Upper South and the Lower South, and you will see that in just a little bit. Atlanta actually outgained Washington 364-344. Washington perfect in the red zone, getting 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns and a field goal on their 3 efforts. Atlanta only got 1 score, a touchdown, in their 3 trips. 14 penalties. I always like to look at that. Good gauge of how sloppy or how well the game was played. 65 plays by Atlanta, 46 were passes. Washington ran it 35 times and passed 24 on their 59 plays. First downs were even. 4 turnovers by Atlanta. That proved to be big. Look at the scoring summary. There you see the lone score by Atlanta was the throw to Roddy White from Matt Ryan. Arrington, Akins, Davis, and Schweisom, 4 different players, scoring for the Redskins. Player of the game honors, maybe Clark. I'd give it to Gary Clark. Maybe Johnny Williams with his 2 picks. We'll see in a moment. So let's take a look at the standings. Atlanta drops to 2-5. They are 2.5 games. Actually, 3 games behind Carolina at the moment, as Atlanta hasn't had their bye week yet, but Carolina will. By the way, we'll only have 3 games in week 8. I guess that's the league the hypothetical hometown baseball league would be having its World Series. But there will only be 3 games in week number 8. And in the lower South, the best team outside of New Orleans is 3-3 Houston. So a lot to play for. Carolina and New Orleans look like they're on their way at the moment, but those 2 wild card spots in the Southern Conference are wide open. So our next 3 games, Miami at New York. We'll be recording that in just a little bit. Baltimore at Carolina, and Tennessee travels to Philadelphia. Again, your final today, 24-7. Williams was the player of the game with his 2 interceptions. 24-7, Washington over Atlanta. Washington goes to 6-1, the first team to post 6 wins. And Atlanta drops to 2-5, but the way the Southern Conference is going, anybody could still win it. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are and no matter when you see this. We wish you Godspeed and God bless. Take care, everybody, and we'll be back real soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.